So again. So roaming cancels, like I said, I made a video on this about a month ago, talking about like the XX ones and the exit ones, and then the Strive ones. So this one, now that we have the game, I could just talk about the Strive RCs, the different Strive RCs, the 5 different Strive RCs, right? And not only like uses for them, but also some small system nuances that you might want to pay attention to that in case you may have seen other content about RCs, they might not have mentioned it, because I don't think anyone has looked into this yet. First, RC, the concept, right? When you have 50 meter, you can press 3 attack buttons in order to cancel whatever you're doing into an action. So depending on what you're doing at that time, you'll get a different type of RC. So let's start with the I guess oldest one, which would be the red RC. So the red RC you do by pressing 3 buttons when you do an attack. So the main thing this is generally used for is 1, combo conversion. So because of the slowdown that's applied, you can get combos you don't normally get. You can also set up some mix-ups depending on your character as well. And there are moves that are like normally unsafe that you could make safe. So like let's say in Milia's case, your Bad Moon becomes both like a pressure tool if they block, and then a conversion if it hits. So you'll generally be using it for offense, block strings, usually like special moves generally, but every character will use it differently. Then we have the PRC. So this is what happens when you whiff a move. So this has the lowest amount of slowdown that can be applied. Let's use an air move. It's very short compared to the... You see the clock go around like that? The PRC is a lot shorter. So this is for when you whiff moves, but it's also applied to some projectiles as well. So even like this or this when I do when it hits, I get the PRC. Cool. And then we have the blue RC. So this one is a really tricky and really interesting one. It has the most slowdown out of all of them. By far. It has the most slowdown out of all of them. The main things that people use them for right now is some characters can get mix-ups that they can't normally get because since there's additional slowdown. Let me go a little bit higher so I can do it. You can get things to connect that wouldn't normally be airtight. So similar example, see how they got hit there. So that's one really, really good application for it. You also get combos you won't normally get the same way. Right? I would never be able to get that type of conversion normally. It's only because of the blue RC slowdown. There's also people who use it as like to like bait a whiff because you're applying slowdown to somebody, right? So let's say something like this happens, or like right. This one is one I don't use so much personally, but it's something worth exploring depending on your character and how fast your character builds a meter. Keep that in mind. And again, it's the neutral action RC essentially. It's a neutral action, so I don't want to say totally you do it when the opponent is not in block stun or hit stun, because you can get them here. A better way of actually putting it is it's when your character is in a neutral state. That's when you do it. That's when you do it. A lot of people do say you RC without block stun or hit stun, but a better way of putting it is when your character is in a neutral state, you'll get it. This is why you could do like jump BRC. If I do this right, air dash BDC BRC, really good stuff. Now the last one. The last one is the YRC. This is done by doing forward plus Roman cancel in block stun. I heard you're +5. The defender is +5 when they do this. You push them off a little bit. It's basically like your guard cancel, like get out of jail free card. If they bait it though, you're done. So be careful with it. Definitely be careful with it. The 5th and last one is fast roaming cancel, which can be done with everything but YRC. The way you do a fast roaming cancel is you press a button before the area of effect on the RC happens. So you see how like the screen turns black and then an explosion is kind of applied like that. So the way you do it is, if I was going to use a move as an example, there you go. And you can do it with different ways too. Like, you can drift various ways. And you could also, you could do this with BRC as well. You could do it with purple RC. All you gotta do is make sure that you apply it, that you do a button before the slowdown is applied. The biggest thing about fast RC, this besides like maybe it'll set up mix-ups that you can't normally do, is you won't have scaling from the RC hit if you do the fast RC. That versus... Yeah, there you go. So, a couple more things though, because you probably knew a bunch of this shit, but you have a meter penalty applied. The meter penalty duration depends on what RC that you did. So, fast BRC is the fastest, then raw BRC is next. Notice how it takes a little bit longer. Then fast RC. Okay. Take a little longer, right? Then fast PRC, so... Okay. Then it's red RC straight up. Okay, taking a little longer, taking a little longer. Okay. And then PRC straight up. So I'll do this. Whoops, dummy. Okay. This is good. Okay, make sure you look at my meter. Okay, there you go. This one's gonna take forever, by the way. There you go. Finally got it back. Okay, so that's the order of speed. So keep that in mind when you're using meter. Meter is really, 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 really important. Really important. Now, the last thing about RC, as it relates to meter especially, is going to be this. So it is about the positive state. So of course, the negative state, you know, your meter is going to be going down and stuff. But in the positive state, there's basically no meter penalty. So if we use like, let's use RC, right, as an example. Let's use red RC. So as soon as I break the wall, I'm gonna run over an RC. See that? My meter does not care. My meter does not care. Very, very, very important to know. As opposed to me doing the same thing, where it takes quite a little bit for my meter to start filling up. Right? In this case, right? But yeah, any questions? I think it was pretty straightforward.